Welcome to the Hidden Hour. Hello and welcome back to the Hidden Hour, the channel where mysteries come alive, secrets are revealed, and the unexplained finds a voice. Today, we are diving into one of the most perplexing and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. This is the tale of a man who arrived at an airport with all the right documents. A legitimate story, and a calm demeanor, but from a country that did not exist. This is the infamous case of the man from Taured. Chapter 1. A normal day becomes unforgettable. The incident occurred in July 1954 at Tokyo Haneda Airport. What began as an ordinary day for customs and immigration officers would soon become a case they would never forget. Among the passengers disembarking from a European flight was a man in a crisp business suit. He appeared to be in his mid-40s, Caucasian, bearded, and fluent in multiple languages, including Japanese and French. Everything about him suggested he was a seasoned international traveler. When he presented his passport, officials were initially impressed. It appeared genuine. The design, the seals, and the stamps indicated a well-traveled individual. But as the officer examined the document more closely, confusion set in. The passport was issued by a country called Taured. Taured? The name did not match any known nation. Japan's immigration database had no record of such a country. Yet the passport looked real. The man seemed unaware of the problem and acted as though everything was in order. Chapter 2. The Geography of Confusion. Officials decided to question the man further. When asked to locate Taured on a map, he pointed to an area between France and Spain. That region is known in our world as Andorra, a small principality nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains. But the man insisted that in his world, that area was the nation of Taured, which had existed for more than 1,000 years. He appeared genuinely confused by the reaction of the officials. He claimed he had visited Japan multiple times before on business trips. And this was merely another routine visit. He even had business cards and documents supporting his claims, all listing the country of origin as Taured. The officers contacted the company listed on his business documents. No such firm existed. They called the hotel where he said he had a reservation. No booking under his name. They even checked with local authorities to verify the existence of his bank, which was stamped on a checkbook he carried. No such bank could be found. Chapter 3. The Passport of Puzzlement. What made the mystery even more intriguing was the man's passport. It was a well-worn document, filled with stamps from countries across Europe and Asia. Some stamps even matched the entry points and dates of previous Japanese customs stamps, suggesting he had indeed visited before. However, there was no official record of such visits in the Japanese database. The passport looked legitimate in every physical sense. The paper quality, the ink, the placement of seals, and even the wear and tear were consistent with a real document. If it was a forgery, it was the most sophisticated one they had ever seen. Chapter 4. Detainment and Vanishing. Uncertain about what to do, the Japanese authorities placed the man under temporary detention at a nearby hotel. He was housed in a guarded room on an upper floor, with no balcony or outside access. 2 immigration officers were stationed outside the door, and all of his personal belongings, including his documents, were held for further examination. The next morning, the guards opened the door, only to find the room empty. The man had vanished without a trace. The windows were sealed and had no ledges or escape routes. The door had not been opened, and no one had entered or exited during the night. All of his documents were gone. His clothes, briefcase, and any trace of his presence had disappeared. The hotel staff, airport personnel, and law enforcement launched a massive investigation, but no clues emerged. The man from Taured was gone, as mysteriously as he had appeared. Chapter 5. Theories of the Impossible. Over the years, many theories have attempted to explain what happened. Some suggest that the man was a time traveler or a being from a parallel dimension who had somehow slipped into our world. In this theory, the country of Taured does exist, just not in our version of reality. Perhaps due to a rift in time or space, he found himself in a universe where Taured had never existed. This idea aligns with certain quantum physics theories that propose the existence of multiple parallel universes. According to the multiverse theory, Every possible outcome of an event exists in its own separate reality. If this is true, then in some other version of the Earth, Taured could be a recognized nation. Other more grounded theories suggest that the man was mentally ill, suffering from delusions so intense that he had created an entire false identity. But this theory fails to explain the physical documents, the language fluency, and the seemingly genuine confusion he displayed. Chapter 6. Was it all a hoax? Some researchers argue that the entire story is a fabrication. They claim there are no official records to confirm the event and that the tale likely originated as a fictional story that gained traction over time. Critics point out that no newspaper from 1954 reported such an incident and that the details often change with each retelling. Despite these doubts, the story has endured, largely because of the strange consistency in how it is told. Many versions include the same basic facts: a man with a passport from Taured, confusion at customs, a mysterious disappearance, and the absence of any official resolution. Even if the tale began as fiction, it has evolved into something greater. It has become a cultural symbol of the unexplained and a rallying point for those who believe that reality is far more complex than it seems. Chapter 7. Other cases of phantom origins. The man from Taured is not the only case of a person appearing with no identifiable origin. Throughout history, there have been similar incidents. In 1851, a man named Jofar Vorin appeared in Germany claiming to be from a country called Laxaria. He spoke a strange language and referred to places no one had ever heard of. In another case, a man was arrested in New York in the early 20th century after speaking a language no one could identify. Linguists and anthropologists were unable to trace its origin. Eventually, the man died in an asylum, and the mystery was never solved. These cases, while rare, suggest the possibility of people who do not fit into our established understanding of geography and identity. Whether these are hoaxes, mental conditions, or something far more bizarre remains up for debate. Chapter 8. The psychological angle. Some psychologists suggest that the man from Taured might have experienced a form of dissociative identity disorder or cryptomnesia, a condition in which a person believes a forgotten memory is a new and original thought. In this theory, he might have created the concept of Taured from bits and pieces of real-world geography and history. But once again, this fails to explain the physical evidence. Passports, currency, documentation, and his fluent conversation with officials all point to someone who believed in their identity with absolute certainty. Chapter 9. Government involvement? Conspiracy theorists believe the Japanese government, possibly in coordination with international intelligence agencies, covered up the event. According to this line of thinking, the implications of someone arriving from another dimension were too significant to be made public. Instead, they erased all records and suppressed any investigations. While there is no direct evidence to support this theory, it has gained traction among those who believe that governments routinely hide knowledge of unexplained phenomena. Chapter 10. The legacy of Taured. Today, the story of the man from Taured is more than just an urban legend. It has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring books, movies, and even academic discussions. It serves as a metaphor for the limits of human understanding and the mysteries that may lie just beyond the reach of our perception. In a world increasingly obsessed with data, facts, and logic, the man from Taured reminds us that not everything can be explained. Some stories remain forever just out of reach, whispering to us from the shadows of possibility. And that concludes another deep dive into the strange and the unknown. Here on the Hidden Hour. Was the man from Taured a traveler from another world, a clever hoax, or a lost soul trapped between realities? Perhaps we will never know. But one thing is certain, his story continues to inspire and mystify. If you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to like the video, share it with your fellow mystery enthusiasts, and subscribe to the Hidden Hour for more journeys into the unexplained. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-minded, and remember, the world is full of secrets just waiting to be uncovered. Goodbye, and see you in the next Hidden Hour.